Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome to another edition of Double the Innocence with your boy E-Dub, Gem Dropper Showstopper. Let's give a few people a few minutes to see if anybody else is going to join us up here. If not, we're going to get right into it. My topic of conversation for today is the United States Dream Team. You know, the Dream Team that consisted of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, you know, those guys back in that day. How they would fare against this particular U.S. Olympic team. You know, I've heard, like there's been people debating this for the last couple of days or whatever the case may be. And I've been listening to the debate. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to chime in with my own personal opinion. And I'm also kind of curious if anybody else that's come up here to join me, what their opinion on this particular topic is. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break this down for you. We're going to start from coaching. The coaching for the Dream Team, obviously, would have to be better than the coaching that's on this present day Olympic team. Wouldn't you say? Simple fact of the matter. The Dream Team, as far as I'm concerned, is a team assembled of the greatest players that had played at that particular era, that particular time. And the coaching staff was able, I'm going to say this again, the coaching staff for the Dream Team was able to find playing time for every single player on that particular squad. So right there, we would have to say that the Dream Team was, the coaching staff for the Dream Team was better. Right there. The players that played for the Dream Team, every single one of those players played with a chip on their shoulder. Every one of them. The reason why we know that they played with a chip on their shoulder is because of the simple fact of the matter that the most competitive basketball that they played during that time in the Olympics was when they scrimmaged against each other. When you hear scrimmages working like that, that just tells you that they don't want to lose. They don't know what it is to lose, and they have no interest in losing. Now, is it safe to say that the Dream Team, they basically annihilated the majority of their competition? There were no close games. There were no 3 to 4 or 5 point wins. They were blowing teams out. Every game leading up to the gold medal match was a statement game for the Dream Team. Every single game. And the reason why I say that is, remember, Tony Kukoc wasn't part of the Chicago Bulls at that particular point in time. And there was already talk that the Chicago Bulls were interested in getting Tony Kukoc to replace Scottie Pippen. Both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen went to those Olympic Games with a chip on their shoulder. When they got an opportunity to play against Tony Kukoc, his team, in the Olympics, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen wanted to annihilate him. Because they were trying to send a message to the rest of the world. Don't get me wrong. As far as I'm concerned, Tony Kukoc, I mean, he stood on it. He did what he could possibly do. He didn't back down from the challenge, but yet still, there was a challenge issued. That's the type of gusto that the Dream Team walked around with back then. So for people to really sit down and say that the team today would be able to beat the Dream Team back then, I mean, listen, I think that that's really part of the major league problem, though. That's part of the problem. The fact of the matter that people spend so much time comparing. They spend so much time saying, "Oh yeah, you know, the team of the past wasn't that great. That means the team to." Listen, now that I've actually had time to actually sit down and think about it, I understand why people that are living in their error support their error. So I could understand the new age generation of today getting behind their dream team, getting behind all the players that are on the dream team, thinking that they're the greatest team that's ever been assembled, because this is your error. My error was a Michael Jordan error, and I believe that those are the greatest players that were ever assembled. I'm almost positive that the era before that thought that those were the greatest players that were ever assembled. You see, my problem is that nowadays, people are trying to disrespect history. That's where my problem lies. Fine, you want to compare, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. That's one thing. But why are we trying to erase what the previous players before did? Why are we trying to make it seem like the previous players before us did absolutely nothing? At least in my era, my generation, where I grew up with the Isaiah Thomases of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, got to see the tail end of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Magic Johnsons, got to witness those guys, thinking that those guys were the greatest players. We still didn't disrespect the players that were before them, even though we didn't get to witness them play. One of the main reasons for that was because the players that we were respecting gave those previous players respect. You see, I never got to watch a Pistol Pete. I didn't get the opportunity to watch a Wilt Chamberlain or a Bill Russell. I got the highlights. I didn't get an opportunity to watch the Iceman Gervin. I didn't get an opportunity to see none of these guys because I was before my time. But yet still, we're able to give, at least my generation was able to give those guys the respect that they rightfully deserved. Plain and simple. Without ever seeing any one of those guys play a game, we're still able to respect them. So why is it that this generation wants to disrespect my generation? Why is that? Why is it that they want to make it seem that they basically want to erase it? Why is it that you want to erase an individual like a Kobe Bryant from the records? Why? Can't everybody be great in their own in their own right? Because of the simple fact of the matter that people it's important for people to make a LeBron James great. That means you have to cancel out a Kobe Bryant. That's the reason why individuals like myself have a bad taste in our mouth when you come to us with a LeBron James being great. Where you're gonna come to us with a Ant-Man being great. Where you're gonna come to us with a Ja Morant being great. Yes, they are great. They're absolutely great. They're not greater than. And the faster people stop trying to push that particular agenda, the better off I think we'll all be. We'll all be able to live in harmony. The new generation will stop getting pushback from the older generation. And maybe in turn, the new generation could learn a little something from the older generation. Because we're not imbeciles or idiots. We do kind of know what we're talking about. And one of the main reasons why us older generations get frustrated is the simple fact of the matter that new generation, you just had the opportunity to witness what you're witnessing now, which is your stars now. Us older generation got an opportunity to witness that. Those guys coming into the league, plus the new generation coming into the league. So we do have a little know-how of what we're talking about. No, I don't have OnlyFans. Sorry. OnlyFans, nah, I stay away from stuff like that. All that to say, if there's a way that we could compare present and past without disrespecting either or, I believe maybe, you know, that we'll be able to probably deliver more of the message and receive more of the message, in my humble opinion. But when you want to start comparing greatness to greatness, when you want to start comparing a LeBron James to a Michael Jordan, or a Kobe Bryant to an Ant-Man, and want to make one greater than the other, then you're always going to get pushback on both sides of the fence. Period. We'll never ever be able to live in harmony where that's concerned, because the older generation is always going to take a stance. At least the majority of them are always going to take a stance for what they perceive as great, what they had the opportunity to witness as great. And the new generation is going to stand on what they stand on. And the new generation is going to be able to stand on everything that they stand on. That being said, I want you guys to share. I want you guys to like it. I need you guys to subscribe. Help this channel grow. Double the Innocence with your boy E-Dub is out.